What's up, guys? I'm Uncle Freedom, coming to you on a glorious and well-deserved day off. How's it going? It's time to start a small series of videos. These will come out, randomly. Um, and it's something that I put a lot of effort into the writing of. And what started off as me writing on a couple of sheets of paper of topics that I wanted to cover for you good people turned into pages upon pages of information. And a lot of it was inspired by questions I was asked from you guys. And that was a comprehensive concealed carry guide. And I do this in the way that I do things, right? Like it is full bore all the way. So food for thought, YouTube, I'm going to show guns today. I'm not advocating for the purchase of anything today. I don't care what you have. If you buy one, it just doesn't matter to me. I don't sell guns. I have no financial vested interest in anything I'm going to talk about today. I should also say now's a good time to like, subscribe, share, because we need to defeat all of the things that exist. Censorship is a real thing, and go support another creator that you can find out there, because that's important. One that pops into my head right now is the Gentleman Gunner, who provides fantastic information from a competition-based dynamic talking about firearms that he has an exceptional amount of time on. I like his stuff. So I struggled with how to start this series of videos, and this has been a lot of work already. We're already a few months into me writing and testing and filming, but I needed to lay the groundwork for this in a video that people could reference about what was going to happen. And this is that video. And we're going to start with this. So you've decided to carry a gun. Now, the why behind deciding to carry a firearm, something like my Gen 5 Glock 45 that you guys saw in the greatest Glock ever made, or my Ultimate Duty Glock video. This is that firearm. I've had this firearm for just over a year and am over 20,000 rounds at this point. Deciding to carry a firearm, though, every day is an extremely personal choice. And the reason I say that is because I think everybody should own and possess and carry a firearm if you're legally allowed to do so. However, there's a lot of people not comfortable with it. And what it usually takes is something taking place that spurs on that decision process to be started. Maybe you live in an incredibly unsafe area where your home is at. Maybe you know someone who is the victim of a violent crime or a robbery. Maybe you know someone whose house got broken into. Maybe you know someone that's been a part of a home invasion, or maybe you know someone that's lost their life to senseless street violence. Maybe it's just the current state of the world in which we live in. The point being is the initial decision that I want to do this is a very personal choice. And it's something that you have to make with a little bit of gravitas to it, because you don't want to just on a whim it, because that is how we get ourselves into trouble. Now, there are some things that you need to understand about concealed carry that I don't hear put out a lot, and I'm pretty well known at this point for telling you uncomfortable facts about life. And one of those uncomfortable facts is that this is not a talisman. This does not make the bad people go away simply because I own it and carry it. Here's the thing. I have often heard of somebody say something like, all you got to do is rack that shotgun and they'll take off running. Here's the problem with that. And I'm going to paraphrase a fantastic instructor that teaches something known as the American Fighting Revolver, and his name is Daryl Bulkey. Now, Daryl Bulkey is a world-class instructor and a world-class cop from a badass part of the world. Now, I heard this said by him and it really stuck with me. And that is, the only thing racking a shotgun does, the people that were going to run away when you rack that are the same ones that are going to run away when you tell them you're calling the cops. Everybody else, all it did was tell them to get ready to fight. And that is a very true statement and a terrifying statement all at the same time. But again, it's very accurate. Again, because guns aren't talismans, man. They don't make bad people go away. They're not a magic wand that just solves your problems. It also doesn't make you invincible because you carry and own a firearm. These are important things for you to understand and just at least accept when you start on this trail. They don't make you infallible, but it does absolutely carry with it an incredible weight of responsibility. After all, you are carrying a tool that is very capable of removing things from gene pools. Like, it's just a fact, right? Like, here's the thing, like, uncomfortable viewpoint, I guess. Firearms are dangerous. They are inherently dangerous. That is what they are made for, dangerous stuff. But they can be very safe and used in very safe manners on ranges, and people can have a lot of fun. They can be used for sport, but they can also be used to save your life and the lives of the people you care about. Now, the next part of that's kind of, it's not a talisman thing, is carrying a gun is not the primary solution, right? Like, here's the thing. I mean, this is awesome and this is like super dope, right? But I could also point out the fact that this 22 LCR right here is also very cool and very capable in the right hands doing the right thing. But this is not the first solution, man. There are a lot of gunfights that take place in America that should have been fistfights. And I say that because if you have absolutely zero capacity to fight at all, you should probably address that first, right? Don't tell me it's because you've had an injury, bro, or you're old. Dude, I've got knee replacements, busted back, all kinds of crap's gone wrong with me. I still fight. And I actually have a job that requires me to fight. Having that confidence that comes with understanding a little bit of hands-on capability and your ability to do those things specifically. If you are comfortable and confident with your hands, you are a lot less likely to get freaked out and grab your gun. It's just a reality. So buying a gun and carrying it every day is not going to suddenly remove the fear of bad things, right? That's another pretty common misconception that we'll address. But like I said, this is stuff I wanted to put out first. I carry this firearm every single day, right? I am a active duty law enforcement officer. I carry this on duty. I carry this off duty. I carry this in bad places. I carry it in places that you can't always carry a gun. However, the fear of something bad happening to you doesn't go away simply because you're now armed. You just have a tool. You have a vote in the gunfight now, which is a good thing. We want that. After all, first rule of gunfights, have a gun, right? You don't have a gun, you don't get to vote in how that fight turns out. So have a gun, right? But your fear of the situation never goes away. The important thing, though, fear is a very good thing, right? Fear can make you very aware. Fear can make you more careful. The important thing is that we learn what fear is, acknowledge fear, and train with fear so that we can manage it. The only problem with fear in this world is fear can cause you to escalate a situation. Again, that gunfight that should have been a fist fight, fear is how we turn that into a gunfight. Because you're afraid, because you have no capabilities, right? You can't beat your way out of a wet paper bag. Holy crap, this dude's in my face. I don't know what to do. Get back, right? You just escalated the situation because you're afraid. That is never an acceptable reason to escalate a situation, especially not to start bringing guns into what should be a fist fight. You need to have some capability as a concealed carrier, as a concerned citizen, a defended-minded, prepared American. You need something that exists between a harsh word and a gun, right? You need some capability in the middle, whether that capability is, catching hands and throwing hands with people, whether that capability is a can of Palm, Peace of Mind pepper spray, excellent stuff, great stuff, pretty hot too. Or if that is an expandable baton, if that is a sap, if that is a taser, a stun gun, right? Something has to exist between the harsh words that are taking place and a gun, because the gun is the last possible resort, or if somebody else has already decided that the gunfight is going to happen and you just need to be a participant, right? Guns are reserved for that. All the rest of that stuff that happens after somebody talked bad about your mama and you got to defend the honor kind of deal in the bar. Bars are a bad idea, by the way. Something has to happen, whether that is with hands, whether that is with spicy air, whether that is with metal sticks, whether that is with electric, a lightning pistol. Something has to exist between those two things, and you need to be comfortable and confident with that so that you don't just go to the end because you're afraid, right? With the ability to handle that stuff in the middle between a harsh word and a gun, the stuff that exists there, your ability to be a part of that raises your confidence through the roof, and it also eliminates a lot of your fear. Something else we're going to cover as we go through the series is OODA loop, right? Observe, orient, decide, act. OODA loop plays a large part of your interaction in daily life with people, especially in high stress, high threat environments where violence is now on the table. You need to understand something about concealed carry, right? People like me, I am very comfortable with the recreational use of violence, right? Like, I am not a stranger to it. But a lot of people are, and I understand that. I'm going to help you. That's what we're here for. So the next part of this is your mindset. And we will do another mindset video as it pertains specifically to concealed carry, but I recommend you go check out one of the previous 2 videos I've done. One is known as the mindset triad. The other one is the most important thing you can carry every day, and that is a good, proper mindset. But I'm going to retouch some of the stuff. I've changed the way I word some of the things. But you need to know and understand the mindset of a protector versus an aggressor, right? They're not the same thing. If your goal is to defend life, your life, and the people you care about, that is a lot different from the other side of this, right? It is the difference between getting myself out of trouble and going looking for trouble. Those are the differences in mindset. We're going to specifically cover that as this series moves along. I'm pretty excited about this, right? The next video, probably going to be 2 videos. We're going to cover the gear set that's actually part of this, right? Everything from holsters to flashlights to magazines to extensions to medical gear to how you carry this stuff to your less lethal options, because again, you need stuff between a harsh word and a gun. All of that is going to be covered in a couple of videos. It's going to be fun. And then we're going to cover some law, because as a law enforcement officer, right, like I understand, know the law. I know a lot of self-defense laws around the country. A lot of them have a very common thread running to them. I will caveat this by saying, even after you see that video, understand your local laws. It should serve as a primer for you to go find it. But we're going to cover some things like duty to retreat, castle doctrine versus stand your ground. We're also going to cover some stuff in the law side of the house as we talk about it as prohibitive spaces, gun-free zones, defense of others. It's going to be good. It'll be really super informative because, again, I'm just going to put it out to you the way I would put it out to anybody that asked me this question on the street. And then we're going to cover an updated selection criteria for your firearm, right? We're going to talk about, I did a selecting your duty gun, but we're going to go a little further now because I am older and more mature and I've learned new things. And we're going to talk about things like the merit of snub-nosed revolver. We're also going to talk about caliber considerations, everything from surprising little things like 22 long rifle punch from Federal, 357 Magnum 9mm, 38 special, wad cutters. Like, we're going to cover a whole bunch of crap in that. Everything also including dots, lights, handgun sizes, even micro knives and stuff like that. And then we're going to move into one that I'm really excited about because it's going to be a lot of fun, and that is carry positions and holster considerations. We're going to talk about everything small at the back, outside the waistband, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, true appendix, cross draw, and then like 12 noon. We're going to cover it all. I'm going to show you guys some excellent holsters from some awesome people throughout, people like Dark Star Gear, Harry's Holsters, Filster, Tentacore, you name it. We're going to have some cool stuff. It's going to be fun. And I'm also going to go into the kind of the criteria for selecting where you're going to carry a gun, because there isn't always the right answer, right? I'm an appendix carrier, but I have to carry it 3 or 4 o'clock sometimes because I have to wear a suit coat. And we're going to talk some about the clothing choices, dressing around the gun, making yourself less of a target. But that's all a part of the comprehensive concealed carry guide. And then we're going to move into ammo selection and performance, right? I've got some clear ballistics gel. We're going to go shoot gel through some barriers. And we're going to actually talk about that barrier, because I have answered the argument, angrily typed comment numerous times by people that have said, yeah, but I don't need barrier performance, bro. Yes, you do. And I'm going to explain to you why. Everybody needs barrier performance from a handgun. You may not think you do, but I'm going to show you why you actually do. From a non-law enforcement side of the house, but we're going to go over all that. And that will be followed with my top 10 recommended ammos. So it should be a good time. We'll do that. And then we're going to talk about seeking out your first classes, outside training resources that you can have. I want people to have access to better stuff. So we're going to talk about some of that. There's even going to be a classroom portion of that on Patreon. And the classes part's going to be stuff. And then finally, I have created a 100 round course of fire that literally touches every single foundational part of firearm shooting from concealment, right? And we're going to head out to the range and we're going to do this. All of it will be published on the website, full outline of that. Everything will be there, but I'm going to demonstrate it for you good people on camera. And we're going to have fun. And I'm going to do it from a 3 o'clock holster. I'm going to do it from an appendix rig. I'm going to do it from an outside the waistband. I'm going to do it with things like my semi-auto Glock. I'm also going to do it with things like my Ruger LCR and probably some things like this 627 and the new Fusion XP Pro. Happy Sam. Anyway, the way I designed this, it is a very minimal equipment, a lower round count, but it is designed as, it's not the be all end all. It is the foundation. It is the, if you can do this thing, you should be able to safely carry and employ a firearm, right? That's what we're going for. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to create the course of fire to give you a solid base so that you would have some confidence in your ability to solve problems in which the answer to the problem is a gun, which are only gunfights. It's not the answer any other fucking time. So it's just, people point guns at people a lot that don't need guns pointed at them. Cops are like the biggest, like, violator of this rule. And I have a whole bunch of drills, like the rule 2, rule 4 drill, right? Never point your fire, or, never point your fire at anything you don't intend to destroy. Rule 2 drill, rule 4 drill, know your target, know between you, your target, backstop, and beyond. That, I have drills specifically for those. Those are going to get hit really hard in the stuff. There's going to be some, how do you deal with people, churches, you name it. I have had a blast writing this series of videos and I cannot wait to share it with you. But I really needed this primer to come out so you guys knew what to expect. Everybody won't need to watch every video, but I guarantee you there's going to be something that's going to help everybody in every video I put out, because otherwise it's not worth my time to put it out. I don't put out stuff that doesn't help people, because that's what I started this to do. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I cannot wait for you guys to see this. I'm actually going to start filming it right now. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And until next time, I'll see you later.